I just finished the third run on the third week of the Goofy Race and a Half Challenge. As you can see from my glistening cheeks, it was a hot one. The humidity is unreal here in New York City right now. Yesterday it was like 68, but that was not one of my run days. Heading home to get P90X in. For those of you who have done P90X, today I am doing the plyo workout, which I hear is death. So we'll see. But week 3 of my training plan is done. I'm feeling good. I actually can't believe I'm saying this. I cannot wait for cooler temperatures, but taking each day as it comes. Bye. Hello, running friends, running unicorns, walkers, and everyone who just gets out there and keeps kicking butt every day. My name's Laura from Laura Runs and Eats, where I combine 2 of my very favorite things to bring you a blog and now a vlog. So on today's show, I'm going to give you a race training update, as well as talking all about shoes, glorious shoes, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, so training update. I just literally finished my 3rd run of the 3rd week of the Goofy's Race and a Half Challenge that is happening in January. And so far the training is going amazing. I say that now because the mileage is still quite light. There's 2 45-minute maintenance runs during the week, and then as of right now there have been 3-mile and 4-mile runs. Before we even move on to a topic that I absolutely love because shoes are near and dear to my heart, especially running shoes, I just want to give a quick shout out to Gerald over at the Res Runs YouTube channel. I have been watching his YouTube videos. They are amazing. He is incredibly inspirational. He is training for the Dopey Challenge, 2018 Dopey Challenge, so hopefully I will get to see him down there at Disney in January. And his videos are so well edited. He's got a great voice and a great presence, but more than that, he's just absolutely inspiring, and he's just informed me so much in the training and just kind of words of wisdom. If you haven't checked him out, please check him out. His channel is amazing, and subscribe to his channel and he'll keep you kind of updated on how his dopey training is going. And if you like my channel and you want to give me a little subscribe, I am going to either get one of those flashy little things that comes across when I figure out how to do that on YouTube that says subscribe, or you can just hit the subscribe button. Give me a shout out, say hello. If you're ever running in Central Park and I see you there, definitely give me a shout out. So without further ado, let's talk running shoes. But before I do, I literally needed a little bit of coffee at like 5:30 in the evening. So running shoes. When I first started running, I was absolutely completely addicted to ASICs, and actually I still am. I think they're fantastic shoes, and I was addicted to these puppies right here. These are the ASICS Cumulus 17. Now let me just say, when I find a pair of running shoes that I absolutely adore, I will buy them and kind of hoard them as though they're going to take them off the market all of a sudden, or we're going to go into some kind of like Stephen King, Captain Trips stand situation, and I'm going to have to need a million pair of running shoes to outrun the crazy disease that is a pandemic in this world. So I am super obsessed when I find a pair of shoes that I love. These ASIC Cumulus, these were fantastic. These got me through, well, not this pair exactly, but it got me through the Princess Half Marathon, the Brooklyn Half, multiple other races in 2016. Hello, New York! just the typical sounds of New York. Fire station right outside. It's too dang hot for me to put the windows down, so, you know, kind of have to bear with the city life. But the Cumulus 17, like I said, is an amazing, amazing shoe. They have since made the Cumulus 18 and I believe the Cumulus 19, and for all I know, probably the Cumulus 150. Yes, let it out, fire trucks, let it out. So I switched from these Cumulus to a better stability shoe, and I switched to the Kayanos. I still have this pair, even though it is so beat up. If you can kind of see, I've got like torn up insoles. It's definitely time for me to get rid of these shoes, but they just sit in my closet, so I'm going to have to retire these puppies. But these were great when I was suffering from plantar fasciitis, and I was trying to find a stability shoe that felt as good as the Superfeet insoles that I started to wear. At the running store, I go to Jackrabbit NYC, and they suggested trying out the Kayanos. They, like I said, it's a stability shoe, so you have to break them in, but they were great for correcting that plantar fasciitis problem that I was dealing with. Something that is, I guess I'm not part of the majority when it comes to this. I love a drop. I need at least a 10 to 12 drop from the heel to the front of the toe. I cannot run in flat shoes. I just can't do it. I don't have the time to try to correct my own footing, nor do I really have the knowledge or know-it-all. So I love to have that drop, anything that kind of helps me roll forward onto the ball of my foot. And so I was running in the Asics, loving the Asics, completely was brand loyal to the Asics. But for my training moving into 2017, I wanted to try something a little different, and I had some time in my training that I could play. So I decided to go back to something I ran in high school, and that was Brooks. I started with these. These are the Brooks Ghost 9. I inserted Superfeet into them, and if you don't know about Superfeet, I'm going to put a link to all of these things down below. But the Ghost 9 are incredible shoes. They have the drop that I was looking for. I believe it's a 10, but I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and look. From the heel to the toe. They felt super lightweight. They had a nice open toe box, so I didn't feel like the front part of my foot was really kind of crammed during the runs. And they kind of made me a believer in Brooks. So, of course, in typical fashion, I became obsessed with the Ghost 9. And I had to make sure that when these started to wear down, I had my next Ghost 9 ready to go. In between, I decided to go to the running store and say, hey, what is the equivalent to an Asics but in a Brooks? I want something that's got that great gel-ish cushioning that you find in the Asics that I really loved, but I also want to have the lightness of the Brooks and great stability of the Kayano. So they told me, if you love those things, try these. And these are the Glycerin 14s. These shoes are magic. Like, holy moly. I can't even tell you how magical they are. There is great amount of cushioning, so they feel almost like an Asic. There's the lightness of the Brooks. There is this great kind of padding around the top of the heel and top of the ankle. I feel so secure in these. I go back and forth between the Ghost 9 and the Glycerin 14. And I was training for the Brooklyn Half. And I will tell you that unlike any other shoe I have used, those Glycerin 14s, I never felt my feet. There was never any aches or pains as I was getting through to mile 10, which is where I usually kind of start feeling my feet and in turn start feeling my shins and yada, yada, yada. But I felt nothing. I was feeling good. My legs were strong. They felt great in those glycerins. And lo and behold, I became obsessed with these glycerins. So here's the deal now. These particular variations that I have, the Glycerin 14 and the Ghost 9, they have now come out with the Glycerin 15 and the Ghost 10. But I get a little when switching up something that I love so much. So now these two particular shoes are on sale, which is always a plus for runners because we go through so many pairs of shoes. These have actually held up extremely well. I put about, I would say 300 to 500 miles on a pair of shoes before I really start to look at getting a new pair. I also alternate between shoes, which kind of gives the shelf life a little bit of longevity. But Brooks has a great tread, and this great tread, it doesn't wear down as fast as, say, the tread on the Asics. So I am going to stick with Brooks. But the thing about shoes, it's so subjective to what you're looking for. Are you wanting cushion? Are you wanting a drop? Are you wanting zero drop, which is like that flat kind of surface you see in the Ultras? Are you looking for a stability shoe? Do you pronate? Do you overpronate? Do you have plantar fasciitis? All of these are questions and concerns that you should really bring up by going into a running store, a store that really specializes and works with all types of runners and athletes and fitness enthusiasts, walkers. They kind of run the gamut, and they can answer those questions, and they can put you on a treadmill as well and kind of see as they videotape what are your feet doing. One other thing I will say is I love recovery sandals, and the recovery sandals that I use are OOFAs, and these help after a race. In fact, I need to get a new pair. These help with kind of leg recovery, finding that better circulation in your legs after races, just feeling good, letting your feet feel good. I'll put the link to OOFAs down in the description box as well. But again, shoes are subjective, and you should find the pair that works best for you. These are ones obviously, Brooks nor ASIC nor OOFAs sponsor me in any way. Not that a girl can't dream, right? But these are the shoes that I love and that have been successful in my runs and my training plans. So I kind of stick with these shoes. But again, find what works best for you. Make sure you're comfortable, make sure you enjoy them. Most running stores will do a 30-day trial where, as long as you're not running with them outside and it messes up the tread, but if you're using them on a treadmill, kind of get the feel, maybe they work, maybe they don't, then you can, of course, bring them back and find the shoe that works for you. Another great thing is most running stores will take your old shoes and donate them to charities. So I have a bunch of shoes, minus the Keanos, that are just like, I wouldn't give those to my worst enemy at this point because they are just completely ruined and shot, but very well loved. But they will take them and they will give them to charities or anyone that needs a new pair of shoes. So keep that in mind. And later this week, I am going to post a video with one of my favorite upper body exercises to really strengthen up and keep your shoulders and your back strong, especially when you kind of find yourself in that positioning of moving during your gait, where we can get a little bit of tension in the trapezius area, a little bit of tension in those back shoulders. So look for that video midweek. I'll post that. And then also, I am going to start posting videos with my favorite leg workout and my favorite core workout, my favorite stretches that I do in my classes when people say, hey, my hip is really sore, or I've got IT band issues. And please check my blog out. I'll put up some recipes on the blog at laurarunssandeats.com. And again, if you like these videos and you want to follow along, give me a thumbs up by clicking that little thumbs up icon and hit subscribe. And again, go see Gerald over at Res Runs. Until then, have some happy running miles and stay awesome and keep kicking butt, unicorns. Bye.